You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network.
Fabulous.
Live every Sunday with the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Amazing.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
Yes, indeed. You are listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network, coming to you live each and every Sunday morning from 8 to 10, right here on KSCO AM 1080 and Crush 92.5 FM. We span the entire Central Coast, even dab our toe a little bit into the Bay Area. Hello, anyone from San Jose that may be listening, or the greater Silicon Valley area. Also into Livermore, over to I-5, but our primary stretch is from Santa Cruz to Santa Barbara County, and we are so happy to have you with us right now at 8:07. You've arrived at California's number one place to talk about current trends in food, beverages, travel, and tourism, and it's our goal each and every week. We do everything we can to give you the tools you need to enjoy California in a healthy, sustainable, and community-focused manner. All right, straight ahead on the program today, it's a great show. I know I say that every week, but I'm really happy about it this week. We've got just a lineup of guests that are fantastic, starting with one of my favorite places in the entire state, Yosemite National Park. And when we think of Yosemite, within the sound of my voice right now in our broadcast area, we think of heading to Yosemite, through the Sierra foothills and that gradual climb as you get up to what's really the crown jewel of the Sierra Nevada. But on the other side of the Sierra Nevada, Highway 395 takes you past some of the most spectacular scenery in the world. That is Mono County. And to get between Yosemite National Park and Mono County, you just have a couple of months left. The roads close once the snow starts to fly. Tioga Pass gets snowed in rather quickly. And so if you want to explore Mono County and still have fun in Yosemite National Park, there is a way to do it that you may not have thought of, and it will save you a lot of money. So we'll head to Mono County to find out about YARTS. Have you ever heard of a YART? Then Ike Simas joins us. He is an 86-year-old griller. Or no, he's a barbecuer. He's not a griller. You don't put Santa Maria barbecue on a grill. Not if you're doing it correctly. And Ike's been doing it for 60 years. So if anyone knows how to grill up true Santa Maria Style BBQ, this man does. He was just featured in Sunset Magazine talking about how to do it. And he says he's been featured before in Sunset, in Sunset and other publications. But for some reason, this particular article has just taken off like wildfire, and he's getting media calls on a regular basis. So we'll speak with Ike. He's a great guy. And I don't know, maybe you'll throw some meat on the skewer. Is really how he does it, but he'll let you know how to make some true Santa Maria style barbecue in just a moment. And then in our travel and tourism segment, we speak with Ed Kushins. He is the president and founder of an organization called Home Exchange. Their website is homeexchange.com if you want to look at it prior to the segment. But Ed will join us to talk a little bit about sharing homes. Really, when you think about it, one of the largest costs or fees that you encounter when you travel is your accommodations. So if you could erase that, boy, you could really increase the amount of travel that you do. And if you feel like your home is presentable, ours is under partial construction right now with floors torn up and ceilings being painted, and we just got our roof on, a new roof as well. So I don't know that ours is really in shareable mode right now, but that we're preparing it so it could be in shareable mode. And if you really think about where we all live right now. We live either in Santa Cruz or on the Monterey Peninsula. San Luis Obispo County, Santa Barbara County. These are some really desirable locations. People would want to come here and do come here all the time for tourism. So why not swap out your home with someone who lives in, I don't know, Hawaii or, maybe Midtown Manhattan or, someplace that you'd really like to check out, or even here within the state. So we'll talk about home exchange and how that works exactly, and a new survey that people do trust those that would be staying in their home. The level of trust is actually very high, and statistics show that there are a few problems with home exchange. And then in the next hour, it's mid-August, so we are getting knee-deep, literally in some cases, in the grape harvest, the wine grape harvest here in California. And one of the major appellations producing some of the best wines in the state right now are the Santa Cruz Mountains. And so we will talk with Prudy Foxx. She's known as the Grape Whisperer. No, I'm serious. She's known as the Grape Whisperer because when Prudy approaches the vines, something magical happens, apparently, and some of these wineries have their best vintage in years. So Prudy makes her way from winery to winery throughout California, but primarily, I believe, there in the Santa Cruz region, Santa Cruz Mountains. And she'll join us at 9:19 to talk a little bit about this year's harvest, which I'll let the cat out of the bag, is expected to be spectacular. And I know they say that every year. Why would they say anything other than that? But, some years they sort of dampen it down a bit. Well, it was a dry this, or it was too wet, or, we had that cold snap. But this year apparently is a good year. I think the grapes might have been stressed. That's my just guess about why it's a good year. But we'll find out from Prudy, the expert, the whisperer. And then at the bottom of the next hour, we are headed to the University of California at Davis, which, of course, has its huge Robert Mondavi Center for Agriculture. But we will speak with a doctor there, Dr. James Carey, about his new report involving fruit flies. And, don't underestimate how dangerous these little fruit flies can be. People of my age, I'm in my mid-40s and older, will remember the big medfly scare. I think that was in the 80s. Medfly is short for Mediterranean fruit fly. Well, apparently there are dozens of different types of tropical flies that can just ravage California's ag industry in a big way. And I am not underestimating the way that Dr. Carey describes what could, and in his mind, could likely happen here in California if we don't get a handle on the fruit flies. So we will hear from Dr. Carey. And then finally, to round out the show, what are your plans tonight? Want to hang out around 4 a.m? Because that is when the Perseid meteor shower will be peaking. And then it will carry through to Monday night into Tuesday morning. Those are the two peak nights, but I believe tonight, actually tomorrow morning, right before dawn, is supposed to be the absolute best part of the Perseid meteor shower. As our planet flies headfirst through the comet through a comet's tail, and it happens every year in August. So, but this year, for different reasons, it's supposed to be better than most. All right, stick around, everyone. We are headed to Mono County, California, right after this break. You're listening to Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Seems seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
Imagine a world where bullying isn't considered a normal part of childhood.
A world where I'm not afraid to go to school.
To speak out.
To be myself.
A world where I'm not afraid to be caught alone.
Come on, punk.
We have the power to stop the bullying. Speak out.
Speak up.
Educate.
Find out what to look for and how you can make a difference at bullying.org.
Bullying is not kids being kids.
It's not about good homes or bad homes.
It's not a normal part of growing up. I shouldn't be afraid to get on the school bus.
To turn on my computer.
Message. Or walk to my locker. Did you know that a bully will stop his or her behavior in 10 seconds when their peers speak up?
Use your voice.
Hey, leave him alone.
We have the power to stop bullying.
Find out more at bullying.org.
Bullying.org.
Where you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience. Welcome back to the program, everyone. Great to have you with us here on the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network Sunday Fun Day show. I am your host, Randall White. It is now 8:33. And, Yosemite National Park, I've said time and time again, is my absolute favorite place on Earth. When it's not overly crowded with the 4 million visitors, roughly, that it gets each year. You know, most of those visitors travel into the park via highways 120, 140, and 41, leading up from the Central Valley on the western slope. However, entering via the Sierra's eastern slope is really a spectacular ride, starting with the approach along Highway 395. That could be one of America's most beautiful highways as you straddle right along the side of the eastern slope, which, as you know, the western slope really is a gradual rise from the Central Valley until it eventually, reaches the peaks of the Sierra. The eastern slope is just a quick wham right down, leading for these spectacular views from 395, which is at the base of these mountains. And so, you go along really the tallest peaks in the tallest peak in the lower 48, Mount Whitney. You can see it from 395. and there's a lot of great places to stay along that stretch. And so if you want to visit the park, there is an easier way than ever now, and far more economical than taking your own car into the park. To tell us a little bit about that, we are joined right now by Jeff Simpson with the Mono County Tourism and Film Commission to talk a little bit about hopping on YARTS, which is, if I have this right, Jeff, it's Yosemite Area Regional Transit Service? No, wait.
Transportation system.
Transportation system.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we say. We say YARTS. It's a full mouth.
It is. First off, you live in one of the most beautiful places of this state and one of the least visited. Why do you think that is? Just because of its remoteness?
Yeah, I think so. You have that huge mountain range there blocking you off to most of California, which is, most of the population. And it's closed in the winter, all that snow. So, our primary visitors come in the summer when all those passes are open and the access is a little bit easier to get to. And boy,
I think more Europeans see that part of California than Californians that actually live here.
Oh, I would agree. The majority of our visitors are foreigners coming from all over the world, kind of taking a loop from the San Francisco area up to Tahoe, down the east side, and then out Yosemite and back into San Francisco again. So.
Yeah, because they've been told, by visitor, they have, maybe one experience in their life to see California, and they've been told, don't miss this one stretch that, not a lot of Californians get to, but you should really go there to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, this year we were named by Lonely Planet as a top 10 must-see U.S. destination this year. So we've seen an influx of visitors not only from the U.S. but also internationally.
Is that right? Lonely Planet gave you the thumbs up. That's great.
They said, yeah, the validation right there.
Right. Okay, Jeff, tell us about this YARTS service. I can't believe I didn't realize this. I thought YARTS only serviced the valley and then maybe up to Tuolumne Meadows. I had no idea that it went outside the park, both on the western side and into some really areas quite far from the park on your end of things.
Yeah, absolutely. You can pick up YARTS either on the west side and take it into the park there, or you can pick it up on the west side and take it in, or take it all the way through if you'd like. On the east side here, it goes all the way to Mammoth Lakes, which is the largest city here on the eastern slope, home of Mammoth Mountain Ski Area. It also stops in June Lake, one of our larger towns, and Lee Vining.
Yeah, all really spectacular. Hey, since you brought up Lee Vining, there is a deli that exists within a gas station there. I think it's a Shell, but that's just off the top of my head. It might be an Exxon. But it is one of the best delis I've eaten at. The food samplings in Mono County used to be somewhat limited, and the last couple of times I've been there, I've had some really great meals.
Yeah, absolutely. That was also picked out there in that Lonely Planet designation, and it's actually a mobile station. And, I've seen that commercial where you don't want to eat gas station sushi. You've seen that one.
Right,
but this
yes.
is a place where you do want to stop in this gas station and eat. They just have some fantastic food there.
And it all seems to be along the farm-to-table route with just really fresh. I don't know how they get it so fresh there where they are, but everything, my samplings anyway, seem to be extraordinarily fresh.
Yeah.
So it stops there in Lee Vining, and all the way to Mammoth Lakes, and the most expensive round trip, I believe, is only $30.
Yeah, that's actually if you're either starting in the valley or starting in Mammoth and taking a round trip. So if you're just going one way, it's only $18. We do have air service here in Mammoth Lakes, daily to Los Angeles, and if you're here in the winter, we have a few more options, including San Francisco. But it's a fairly inexpensive option, and it also includes your gate fee. So you're going to pay $20 just to get in the park if you're driving yourself. If you're going one way, it's only $18. So it's a deal.
I can guarantee you that round trip from Mammoth Lakes is you're going to spend way more than $10 in gasoline.
Oh,
for that. How many miles is that? That's a lot.
Yeah, I think it's around 160 or so, but, with the driving, you're going up these mountains, it's windy, you're only going 45 to 50 miles per hour, so you're going to burn the fuel.
On top of all of that, Jeff, the views along that stretch of 120 as you're climbing to get to Tioga Pass, and then once you get into the park, it's easy. It's easy to lose your focus on watching the road if you're the one doing the driving. But if you're in a bus, nice air-conditioned bus I believe there's a bathroom on board, you can actually see Yosemite sights right out the window without having to pay attention to the road.
Yeah, just sit back, relax, watch it out the window there. One of the main reasons to take YARTS is, if you've been to Yosemite in July and August on a Saturday or Sunday, you know it's going to be crowded. You know parking is going to be limited, and you know services is going to be limited also. So by taking YARTS, you arrive refreshed and ready to explore the park. And then once you get into the park, Yosemite has free shuttles located in the valley and also in Tuolumne Meadows where you can just hop on and tour everything there is to see.
Jeff, how about, I'm a huge cyclist, and when I'm in Yosemite, that's my method to get around. I feel like I can breathe in the fresh air that way and really take in all the sights from my bicycle. Would I be able to put my bike on one of the YARTS buses?
Yeah, actually, they don't have a rack in the front or back, but they have the big storage bins that are underneath the bus there. For all your gear, if you got a huge hiking pack or a bicycle or whatever, they can accommodate just about anything you want.
Oh, that's terrific. And I do know that in the park, if you don't want to deal with your own bike, they do rent them there as well. So
that's correct.
If there wasn't room on the bus for some reason.
Absolutely.
So about what time of year does Tioga Pass close, which would shut off this service?
Always depends on snow, what kind of snow we have, throughout the winter. But usually late October, mid-November is when it closes, and then opens sometime in April, May, or June, depending on snowpack.
Hey, that was crazy a couple of Januaries ago when Tioga Pass opened up. Was it Tioga Pass that opened up? I know that you could get, from the western side anyway, you could get up to, is it Tehama Lake or whatever the
Tenaya.
Thank you, Tenaya. You could get up to Tenaya Lake, and a good friend of ours, in fact, Cora, she's a producer here on the show, brought her whole family up there and went ice skating on the lake, which had not been done in recent history that anyone could remember.
Yeah, absolutely. We had one of the biggest snow years ever 3 years ago, and the pass actually didn't open up until the first week of July, which is crazy to think about. There's still a ton of snow up in July. But then the next year, we didn't have any snow at all. It was a huge drought year, and what happened is the temperatures were still cold. There was just no snow, so all those lakes and streams and everything froze up, and you could grab your ice skates and head up there and basically ice skate right there in Tenaya Lake. So it's just wonderful.
So one of the big features there, and we only have about 30 seconds for you to talk about it, in your county is Mono Lake, also the name of the county. Is that a state park, or what's its designation?
Yes, it is a state park. It is one of the oldest lakes in the Western Hemisphere. It's a lake that's filled with salt. So we have just the only thing that lives in these little brine shrimp, which attracts over 2 million migratory birds. So if you're a bird enthusiast, it's a great spot. And then we also have Bodie Ghost Town. It's the official ghost town of California. It used to be one of the third largest cities in the entire state, and now it's completely vacant. There's no one that lives there, and you can just go check it out, all the old buildings.
I've been there, and I love it. Jeff Simpson with the Mono County Tourism Film Commission, monocounty.org. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, everyone, stick around because we are back in just a moment with much, much more.
Luna Red Restaurant in downtown San Luis Obispo is the perfect spot for a weekend brunch offered every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Enjoy farm-to-table breakfast plates such as the Ribbit Benedicts, Mission Steak and Eggs, and quinoa waffles topped with fresh market berries. Or opt for a lunch plate such as the grilled Asian-style fish taco salad or the roast chicken bacon avocado sandwich. Lounge on the sunny patio with views of the historical Mission Plaza while savoring our bottomless mimosas offered from 9:30 a.m. to noon. Hang out on Sunday afternoons from 3 to 5 p.m. and catch our live music on the patio during $5 happy hour. Luna Red also accommodates large parties, so call us today to make a reservation. Follow us on Facebook for daily specials and visit our website, lunaredslo.com, to view current seasonal menus, our live music schedule, or check out our happy hour offerings. Luna Red is located at 1023 Choro Street at the corner of Monterey. Come to be fulfilled.
The traditional light bulb, a groundbreaking invention in 1879. Other groundbreaking ideas from that time: the whalebone corset, the pedal-operated submarine, and the two-story outhouse. We've come a long way since then. It's time our light bulbs did the same. Visit EnergySavers.gov and learn about energy-saving light bulbs. See, these new bulbs are more efficient than the old ones, like a text message is more efficient than a carrier pigeon. They last longer, too, like how we humans last longer now that doctors use antibiotics instead of leeches. And they cut down on our energy costs, because in our own groundbreaking age of aeroplanes and moving pictures, we deserve a light bulb that saves us some cash. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience. Welcome back to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I am your host, Randall White. It is 33 minutes past the hour, and for this segment of the show, we have taken the crew to Santa Maria to learn about true Santa Maria Style BBQ. We'll meet up with a man who has done it for 60 years, so if anybody knows about making it truly the right way, this man does. But before we get to that, we need to let you know that this segment of the show is brought to you by Luna Red Restaurant, just off Mission Plaza in downtown San Luis Obispo, serving a globally inspired farm-to-table brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 9:30. By the way, they just started bottomless mimosas as well. We went there last weekend. It was fantastic. Highly recommended. Whether you're visiting San Luis Obispo or call that stretch of the Central Coast your home, Luna Red is a locavor's dream. For more information, head to lunaredslo.com. Okay, now to the topic at hand. We are here in Santa Maria at the Santa Maria Elks Lodge, where they've been grilling up true Santa Maria style tri-tip for many, many years. Oh, top sirloin. I'm going to have a hard time with that because I just learned upon arrival here. In my head, I always think tri-tip, but it's top sirloin for true Santa Maria style barbecue. The man over my shoulder is Ike Simas. He's been doing it here for 6 decades.
Yes, 60 years.
60 years of barbecuing beef in big chunks over hot red oak, and it has to be red oak, right?
You bet. It has to be red oak because nothing else gives out the heat or gives you the flavor like the red oak does.
So I think a lot of people right now, after hearing my tri-tip snafu, are scratching their heads and saying, wait a minute, I see these packages at Costco with seasoned tri-tip, and it says True Santa Maria Style on it, and every single farmer's market I've ever been to when I visit the Central Coast, they're serving up tri-tip. What's the situation there? Why?
I honestly, truthfully, think our Chamber of Commerce is the ones who pushed the tri-tip. Why, I don't know how it ever got started. And anyway, the tri-tip come in, like I said, after the war. And it was for a backyard barbecue, and it was it was a cut of meat that they used to make hamburger or stew meat out of, and a lot of times they tossed it.
It was a cheaper cut, and so it
much cheaper cut. Now it's more expensive because of the demand, like I told you.
Because now it has a name to it, but what you're using here is a far better cut.
Oh yeah, but I think so. I love the flavor of this. Much more than the tri-tip. I think the tri-tip's got kind of I would call it a stronger taste. And it's not as juicy, because this has the fat. See, the fat here, and the fat there on each rod. And we do that so that the juices, when we turn it, will flow through the meat. And this stays much juicier than the tri-tip does.
And so for those of us listening on the radio, what you can see are big chunks of meat with big metal rods that go right through the middle of them. So these are not resting on a grill. They're directly above the fire, and they do glisten with lots of fat.
That's why I say this is what true Santa Maria Style barbecue is, right here. This comes in a hunk of about 10 to 13 pounds is what we use. You cut them down the middle one time, and they'll weigh about 3 pounds apiece, and we'll usually have 6 of these to a rod. And we're doing a smaller barbecue today, but when we do a big one, we put 6 to a rod. The pits and the frames are all designed for 6.
Now, Ike, for people that are listening that want to make some true Santa Maria style barbecue at home, first they got to get the right cut, and then they need to rub it with a special group of seasonings. And what are those?
The way we do it is we put it in a meat pan, the seasoning in the meat pan, and we dip the whole hunk that you see there in the seasoning.
Sort of roll it?
Just roll it around, yeah. We just roll it around, and sometimes people will, like at home, if you like it, more pepper or more salt or what, blah, 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 you just go ahead and do it, and if you want to rub it in, some people even will take and put a hole in the meat and put a liquid.
Infuse it.
Yeah, and to get more seasoning in.
Now, despite all these local restaurants that are all very tasty and very good, selling their special blend of Santa Maria style barbecue seasoning, it's pretty simple, is it not?
Yes, it's very simple. It's just salt, pepper, garlic salt. That's all it is. But you mix it to taste. You use more salt than you do the pepper, of course, and the garlic salt. But there, you just add to how you like it. That's about all I know how to say.
Yeah. Just make sure that it's coated and you can taste those seasonings. Now let's talk a little bit about the difference between the wood available to people. Red oak is native to the Central Coast, and that's what's used here.
Red oak is native to the coast. There's some down in San Diego, but we go up about as far as Paso Robles, but it's really thick in our area. If you get out in the mountains, you can see it. Some places get so thick it won't even grow. You got to trim it out.
The other option would be white oak?
The other option white oak gives your meat a bad, the flavor is it does something to the meat. I've never got into the facts of why it does, but there is a difference in the taste. I use mesquite when I don't have red oak.
But in general, for true Santa Maria style barbecue, there is
nothing else. It's got to be Santa Maria. It does. If you cook with charcoal, you can tell all the difference in the world. And so that's why the red oak, how that got started, I think was plentiful, and that's what they use.
Yeah. But it had a great taste and it stuck.
Yeah. It gives it a great taste. There's no two ways about it. We've all talked about it. In my crew, we probably have over 200 years experience of guys putting this all together of experience, and we've talked about it many times. And we all come to the same conclusion that the white oak gives it a different flavor.
It got started on the ranches because they had to feed a lot of ranch hands, huh?
When they had a big roundup, there used to be some pretty big ranches evidently in the valley. Of course, that was before my time, a little. But then it was all done, and they got all the roundups. Then they'd have these big parties, and each ranch, the people from this ranch would go to this ranch and help, and they still do that today. All the cowboys around will, because I've done a lot of barbecues for roundups, and they'll come from this ranch and they'll go to this ranch, and that's the way they get it done. It's quite interesting. They all know what they're doing. You watch them, and they're just boom, 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 just like our cooking.
When I first sampled Santa Maria Style BBQ, I was a Cal Poly student in the mid-'80s in San Luis Obispo, and I went to the Thursday night farmers market and that sort of thing. And I remember it was paired with what I thought were pinto beans, but they were kind of small, and a little salad.
Paquitos.
What are they called?
Paquito beans.
And those are local to here, too.
Yes, as I understand it, a local seed band crossed them, and that's how he came up with the Paquitos.
Now, in your 60 years of barbecuing, true Santa Maria style, have those always been the side dishes?
Yes. Well, no, a lot of people use the red bean, just the regular red bean or pinto bean. It just, there again is your taste.
Yeah.
But the Paquito beans are by far the most used.
Is there a special recipe for those? Do you use some of the drippings from the tri-tip or anything special?
No, there's what we use. There again, it's your own taste. But basically, it's bacon and onions and chili. And
garlic powder.
Garlic powder, yeah.
And so then in a little salad I've seen, and then another key, which is a very California in general thing, is to have some bread that's been toasted, sourdough bread.
It's you can either use sweet or sourdough. We always use the sweet. Once in a while we'll mix in half and half, but we put it on over the coals. We brown it, and
a little butter.
Oh yeah, then we dip it in butter and slice it. But the butter has garlic in it. We put garlic in the butter so that the bread will have a garlic taste.
So there's garlic on the meat, garlic in the beans, garlic on the bread.
Good for you.
Something must be good for you because you've been doing this a long time.
Well, I'm 86 years old, so I still keep doing it because I love it. I get a big kick out of it. If you do a good job, you feel like you've accomplished something. Yeah, it's like anything else, whether you're a welder or a bowler or whatever.
And you were just recently featured in Sunset Magazine as part of a crew that puts all this together, and really kind of surprised you how much attention that article has received.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of attention. I can't believe it. I did an article in Sunset about 23 years ago, but this is by far. I've had. You see, you're probably the fifth or sixth person that's come and wants to know about Santa Maria Style BBQ. And of course,
you're like, I've been doing this all along.
Well, they call the old man to come down and tell them about it. But a lot of times I get twisted up for words, but I do know what's supposed to be done and has to be done.
I think you're doing a terrific job, and best of luck to you. Keep up the great work and doing it authentically.
Authentically, I'm a firm believer, and I've gone to other cities. They'll say Santa Maria Style BBQ. Well, it's not even close.
What's the number one thing you would tell people to avoid who might be trying this method for the very first time? Getting the fire too hot, or
I avoid trying to cook it too fast. Like you do a steak on the stove. You don't want to do that. It takes about 2.5 hours to do these. So, and we are getting close. So, it's just the flavor and the juice. If you watch us cut this, you'll see the juice just flowing out of the meat.
And after 2.5 hours, it'll be what, about medium rare?
Medium rare. Yes, it'll be medium rare. Most of the people around Santa Maria are rare to medium rare eaters. Of course, you get a few that want it well done.
Ike Simas, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure meeting you. I really appreciate the great work that you're doing. And I want to let everyone know, stick around because there's still a lot more left. You are listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White, and we are back in just a moment.
Beachside Restaurant in downtown San Luis Obispo is the perfect spot for a weekend brunch offered every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Enjoy farm-to-table breakfast plates such as the Ribbit Benedicts, Mission Steak and Eggs, and quinoa waffles topped with fresh market berries. Or opt for a lunch plate such as the grilled Asian-style fish taco salad or the roast chicken bacon avocado sandwich. Lounge on the sunny patio with views of the historical Mission Plaza while savoring our bottomless mimosas offered from 9:30 a.m. to noon. Hang out on Sunday afternoons from 3 to 5 p.m. and catch our live music on the patio during $5 happy hour. Luna Red also accommodates large parties, so call us today to make a reservation. Follow us on Facebook for daily specials and visit our website, lunaredslo.com, to view current seasonal menus, our live music schedule, or check out our happy hour offerings. Luna Red is located at 1023 Churro Street at the corner of Monterey. Come to be fulfilled.
Hello, this is Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I want to tell you about my new favorite discovery, Yosemite National Park. I recently went there with my husband and children, and we walked the trails to see the breathtaking waterfalls, admired the grand meadows, and giant sequoias. But the future of our national parks is uncertain. Many challenges face our parks today, from polluted air and water to development threats outside their borders and inadequate funding to protect our national heritage. That's why the National Parks Conservation Association recently completed a decade-long assessment of the challenges facing our national parks, along with proposed actions that will ensure our children and grandchildren will be able to enjoy the parks as we have. Our national parks have inspired Americans for nearly 100 years. As we approach the centennial of the National Park Service in 2016, please join us in helping to protect our national park legacy. Find out how at www.mpca.org.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
You've waited all week, and it's finally here. The Eat, Drink, Explore Weekly Travel Deals Extravaganza.
Extravaganza! Welcome back to the program, everyone. Great to have you with us. I am your host, Randall White, and it is time to talk travel and tourism. And if we can get you a deal, well, we do our best to do it. So I think we've got one for you today that's pretty good, as a matter of fact. We are talking about exchanging homes, taking your place. Hopefully it's in pretty good condition. In fact, there's probably rules around that. We'll find out. And then switch it out with somebody else who's part of the same plan. And then that way you save on accommodations, which can be the big ticket item when you travel, depending on how far from home you're headed. And telling us more about this is Ed Kushins. He's the president and founder of HomeExchange.com. And he joins us right now on the Eat, Drink, Explore live line. Hey, Ed. Let's see. Is it 4? Sorry. Ed, you there?
Yeah,
Up
I'm here.
There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. We had the wrong one pushed up. So, so how'd you come up with this idea?
I did a home exchange myself in 1992, just sort of informally. I thought it was such a great way to travel. I started a little club then, and it was basically an informal way for people to meet and do their own home exchanges. And a couple of lucky things happened along the way, and now we've got 47,000 people doing it.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Now, your office shared some photos with us of some of the homes that are exchanged. Do you have to have a multi-million-dollar property in order for this to work?
No, absolutely not. And if you saw the movie The Holiday, which was actually based on our website, probably most of the exchanges are really for unlike homes. You might have a really big home exchanging for just a small apartment or a loft. For example, I live in Hermosa Beach, not too much different than Santa Barbara, and we've exchanged many times to New York City and London for basically small lofts.
Yeah.
So it does not have to be a like-for-like exchange, and most of the homes are quite nice, but quite a lot of them are, a little funky.
Manhattan, Hermosa, Redondo. I love that stretch along the Strand where you live. I can see why that would be such a desirable location for people to come visit Southern California, and then you swap it out, like you said, for some of those other great destinations. I imagine living in a desirable spot may be even more important than the actual condition of your home.
Yes, it certainly is, because people want to come to the main tourist areas, but they also want to go off the beaten track. And so even if you don't live in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Santa Barbara, and you live in Ventura, Bend, Oregon, or someplace in the middle of Idaho, you can also do a home exchange. People want to go there.
Yeah, because they get to see an area that the tourists aren't going, which has become really popular in recent years.
It really is, because people like to live like a local, and they like to experience something a little off the beaten track, and that's why those places are so appealing. Okay. And you don't have to go to Europe. You don't have to go to Australia for 3 weeks. We have done our own home exchange from Hermosa Beach to Santa Barbara. We've gone from Hermosa Beach to Palm Springs, and even Hermosa Beach to Beverly Hills.
Yeah, because if you're just out of shot of making it a reasonable drive, like we're headed down to Santa Barbara after the show today, and, it's about an hour and a half. It's not too bad, but if you do a little wine tasting, which is very common in Santa Barbara, you don't want to get back in the car. And so even a short trip like that, it would be nice to be able to swap out a home.
That's our fastest growing use of home exchanges for weekend getaways.
Yeah.
Local and regional.
Okay, now how does it all work, Ed? There's an annual fee, and then do you do some sort of background check so that people can feel safe with the people who are part of your plan?
Well, how it works is simple. It's you stay in my house while I stay in yours. And the website imagine it as an internet dating site, but for your home. Your home is posted, you'll start getting inquiries. You want to go someplace, you'll send inquiries. There's a really small yearly membership charge of $120 per year, and then you can do unlimited exchanges, and that's unlimited number of exchanges or number of nights with no additional per day or per exchange fee of any kind. In terms of vetting the houses or checking them out, like I said, it's like an internet dating site, right. And the people do that themselves. But because we've had so many people who are long-term members, almost all of them have referrals, and that makes it very easy to do that.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. My house likes long walks on the beach and coffee with friends. So, Ed, the reason why we invited you on the show was there was a recent study that came out that said people do feel confident with having strangers stay in their home?
There was a University of Bergamo in Italy did the first academic study, and that's exactly what they came up with. They did an independent study and found that 95% of people who've done home exchange are satisfied with the results. And they're very trustworthy of the people that do home exchange because you never actually do a home exchange with a stranger. Before you ever send an inquiry or respond to an inquiry, you've got a lot of information from them on the website. But in the process of arranging the exchange, you've got telephone calls, emails, video Skypes, and before you ever make the agreement to do the exchange, you really feel comfortable that you're going to have a friend in the house, not a stranger.
Yeah, and there's a long paper trail, so it can't be some, no way of knowing how to contact this person after it's all said and done if there are some big problems.
No, there are lots of verifications and lots of referrals that you can get, and we've been doing this for 22 years, since 1992, and we just find that people are very, very satisfied with their home exchanges. I mean, it gives you the opportunity to travel anywhere. You can live like a local and stay for free, whether it's a weekend getaway or an international vacation.
Ed, I bet this is really big with pet owners because hotels, while they might accept dogs, can at times charge $75 per dog per day as a cleaning deposit, which is really a cleaning fee because you don't get it back. And in cases like this, if one's a dog owner and you're a dog owner and you guys switch places, it's fee free.
It's fee free. You can either bring your dog to someone who is willing to have you bring your dog, and if they have a dog, that happens all the time. But what's more likely is that you can leave your dog at home without having to put it into a kennel. We would never do that.
Yeah, but that gets pricey too.
And they'll take care of your dog for you.
Ed Kushins, founder and president of Home Exchange. Find them online at homeexchange.com. Ed, thank you so much. I really love the sound of it, and I think we're going to get on board.
Thanks, Randall. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. Hey, stick around, everyone. A lot more straight ahead here on the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network on this Sunday Fun Day. A full hour of great stuff straight ahead. Back in a moment. The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network, live every Sunday with the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Fabulous.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
And a very good Sunday fun day, everyone. Great to have you with us here on the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I am your host, Randall White. You are listening to Crush 92.5 FM here in beautiful downtown San Luis Obispo. This hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio is brought to you by Eberly Winery. Eberly is located in Paso Robles, open daily from 10 in the morning until 6 o'clock at night with complimentary wine tasting and cave tours, voted by Wine Spectator magazine as one of the best tours on the entire Central Coast. Eberly Winery is really easy to find. It is located on 46 East in Paso Robles. So if you're on the 101 passing through Paso, just head toward the Central Valley on 46, and after about 3 miles, you'll see it on your left-hand side. It's a big, big property. Pull off there and spend the afternoon, because that's how they have it set up for you, with a big deck, and you can do some of their complimentary wine tasting, find a wine that you like, purchase a bottle, bring some snacks with you, and have a little... a little brunch of your own out on the patio. I don't know how much food they let you bring. you might not want to cater something, but but at any rate, and then they have their own barbecues and stuff as well. Many times those are fundraisers for local organizations. So Eberly Winery, EBERLE Winery.com. All right, if you are not headed to Eberly today, I have a couple of other ideas for you. One in particular that I want to point out, and it is taking place today, Sunday, August 11th. It is known as the Second Sunday Wine Rail Excursion, and it starts in Paso Robles and includes complimentary wine tasting at 2 wineries, a light lunch, some rail history, and a ride on Amtrak's Coast Starlight between Paso Robles and San Luis Obispo. It's a lot of fun. And if you can't make the one today because it's short notice, this coming Friday, August the 16th, and then again in September, there is an excursion to Pomar Junction's a famous train wreck party. These are fun out at Pomar. What happens is you go to the downtown or the rail district, San Luis Obispo Amtrak station. You get on their car that you can even do some wine sampling on the train with the big picture windows as you look out and go over the Cuesta Grade. It is unbelievably a beautiful ride. And, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes later, drops you off in Paso Robles. Then the wine excursion people take you from the depot there in Paso out to Pomar Junction. There's live music. You do have to pay to get into Pomar, but it's $10, I think. And there is some limited free tasting there, but they do have wine purchased for sale. It is available for you to buy. And then you just sit back, enjoy the music at the winery, and then you hop on a bus and they take you back to San Luis Obispo again. No driving involved, which is, really wise if you'll be doing a lot of wine sampling. It's just a good time. So for more information on all of these trips, they're not a sponsor. I'm just a big fan of rail travel, so I thought I would share this with you. Go to CCRRF, as in Frank.com, CCRRF.com, and then go to their excursions page. And I believe that stands for Central Coast Railroad Foundation Fund. I don't know what the F is. At any rate, they're the ones putting in the big rail museum in San Luis Obispo's rail district. So it's a cool organization. All right, everyone, stick around. We got a big show straight ahead, as Ed Sullivan used to say, right? Really big shoe. We're back in just a moment here on the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network.
Luna Red Lakeside Restaurant in downtown San Luis Obispo is the perfect spot for weekend brunch offered every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Enjoy farm-to-table breakfast plates such as the Ribbit Benedicts, mission steak and eggs, and quinoa waffles topped with fresh market berries. Or opt for a lunch plate such as the grilled Asian-style fish taco salad or the roast chicken bacon avocado sandwich. Lounge on the sunny patio with views of the historical Mission Plaza while savoring our bottomless mimosas offered from 9:30 a.m. to noon. Hang out on Sunday afternoons from 3 to 5 p.m. and catch our live music on the patio during $5 happy hour. Luna Red also accommodates large parties, so call us today to make a reservation. Follow us on Facebook for daily specials and visit our website lunaredslo.com to view current seasonal menus, our live music schedule, or check out our happy hour offerings. Luna Red is located at 1023 Choro Street at the corner of Monterey. Come to be fulfilled.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network.
Fabulous.
Live every Sunday with the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Amazing.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
Good Sunday, fun day morning, everyone. Great to have you with us. We are so glad you've arrived here to join us on the show today. I am your host, Randall White. We're coming to you live from California's beautiful Central Coast. Each week, we bring you current information on food, beverage, and travel trends so you can get the most out of your life is probably busy. You got a lot going on, and you want to utilize the free time, your leisure time, as best as possible, as efficiently as possible. And we try to help you do that in a healthy, sustainable, and community-focused way. So still ahead on this hour of the program. Well, first off, last hour, if you missed it, you can watch it all over again or listen again online at eatdrinkexplore.com. We spoke with Jeff Simpson. He's with the Mono County Tourism and Film Commission. We talked about Yosemite National Park, Mono County, which is on the eastern side of the Sierra Nevada, and a really easy way to get back and forth between the two, easy and inexpensive. Also, Ike Simas joined us from the Santa Maria Elks Lodge. He's an 86-year-old who's been grilling true Santa Maria Style BBQ for 60 years, and he shares his tips. And then we wrapped up last hour with Ed Kushins. He's the president and founder of HomeExchange.com, and how easy it is for you to swap out your home with somebody else's so that you can save on all of those lodging costs when you travel. That's really the big ticket item most of the time. So now this hour of the program, in just a little bit, we will head to the Santa Cruz Mountains to speak with Prudy Foxx. She is known as the Grape Whisperer. She apparently has a way with vines, and when she arrives at a winery, the vintages come out just right. So we'll talk to Prudy about the 2013 wine grape harvest, which is fully underway now here in California and will be for the next several weeks, or I guess even months, depending on some of those late harvest wines. And then at the bottom of the hour, we'll keep it in the agriculture realm and speak with a University of California, Davis. Now, I'm not sure if I'm saying this correctly, but it's entomologist Dr. James Carey, and he will talk to us about California's growing fruit fly problem. And boy, this really could be something serious. So you'll want to hear what Dr. Carey has to say. And then finally, we round out the hour with a little chat about the Perseid meteor shower. I don't know what your plans are tonight, but I believe a shower is in order. After you go to bed, you'll probably want to do this as a wake-up call instead of staying up late, because it's not until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning that the peak of the Perseids will hit. But this year, far better than previous years, I believe, and I'm not sure, but I think it's because there's a new moon or a very hardly any moon out there. And so you'll want to find a nice dark area. If you live within a metropolitan area, you'll want to head out of town a little bit so that you can get away from the city lights. But we'll talk about the Perseids and why this year is so fantastic. But right now, it is time to get a check of the news. Very latest food, beverage, and travel news from the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk on this Sunday morning. We do have an update for you from CAL FIRE that shows Southern California's Silver Fire is now 75% contained. Evacuation orders are still in place, however, for the 19,000-acre wildfire burning in Riverside County. This is near the city of Beaumont. I know this region because it's when you head through the San Gabriel Valley on your way to Palm Springs. Beaumont's one of the last communities you hit before you get to Palm Springs. It has destroyed 26 homes and more than 20 other structures. So this is a very devastating fire. So far, 10 firefighters and 1 civilian have been injured. The fire has not grown much, however, in the past 24 hours. This is good news, allowing crews to improve and construct new containment lines. The cause of the Silver Fire is still under investigation. More than 75% of the honey sold in the U.S. on U.S. supermarket store shelves does not contain any detectable pollen at all, says an expert on the matter who recently did a massive sampling. The reason is the honey is put through an ultrafiltration technique perfected by the Chinese. Without pollen, says Vaughn Bryant with the Department of Anthropology at Texas A&M University, there's no way to accurately distinguish a honey's source. Pollen really acts as its DNA, essentially, and without it, the substance could just really be tinted fructose corn syrup. An article published in yesterday's Guardian newspaper says the best way to ensure you're getting the real deal is to buy honey from a local beekeeper, and experts we've had on the show in the past recommend using raw honey, so it hasn't been through any filtration process at all. A new survey shows California is home to 4 of the nation's top 10 craft breweries. That's really impressive when you think about it. More than 11,000 votes were calculated, and Delaware's a Dogfish Head Brewery, they do make some really good beer, came out on top. Followed by Stone Brewing down in San Diego County, Escondido. We've had the beer master, I forget what his name is. He's the beer man from Stone Brewing. He was funny. We had him on the show about a year and a half ago. The next California brewery to make the cut, Lagunitas Brewing in Petaluma, one of my all-time favorites. That they came in at number 7. And then nearby Russian River Brewing Company in Santa Rosa made the number 9 slot, followed by Chico's Sierra Nevada at number 10. The survey was put together by The Daily Meal. If you've never checked out The Daily Meal, it's a fantastic website. I'm pretty confident that you know antioxidants are good for you, right? This does not come as a surprise. And you are probably more likely to buy foods rich in them. You also probably know that antioxidants help protect against cancer, among other illnesses. But what if I asked you right now to explain exactly what an antioxidant is? Yeah, that'd prove a little more tricky, right? According to a new study by Wakefield Research, more than 9 out of 10 people cannot accurately describe an antioxidant. And roughly the same number of people have difficulty pinpointing antioxidant-rich foods like pomegranates, blueberries, nuts, sweet potatoes, and green tea. So here's the skinny, just in case you're asked in a survey or if you find yourself on Jeopardy. Antioxidants are molecules that neutralize free radicals. Free radicals are another set of molecules capable of damaging your body's living cells. They're the result of oxidation, a natural process that occurs when we digest food, exercise, or simply breathe. Living in environments with pollution, radiation, cigarette smoke, and herbicides increases free radical production, one of the many reasons you want to find foods rich in antioxidants. It's National Raspberry Tart Day, and just so happens that raspberries are rich in antioxidants. Our weather forecast, well, our mild California August will continue for the foreseeable future, with Wednesday is predicted to be the warmest day of the week, and even then, it's just a bump of 5 to 10 degrees in most cases. Coastally, we're looking at night and morning fog, 60s and 70s for the week, possibly a few readings in the low 80s for some of the warmer coastal valleys. Inland temperatures are expected to be in the 80s and 90s. Not bad for August, the dog days of summer, right? All right, everyone, stay with us because when we return, just after this short commercial break, we will hear from the Grape Whisperer herself. Prudy Foxx joins us in just a moment.
May is National Bike Month. Now, I used to be intimidated at the thought of biking to work. I worried about my outfit, the traffic, and the time, but my expanding waistline and rising gas prices helped me rethink that position. And last May, I tried riding to work. What an amazing change. In the years since I started riding to work, I've lost weight, saved money on gas, and canceled my gym membership. You should try it. Here are a few tips to help you get started. Alter your route for biking. Cars and bikes are both vehicles and both have a right to the road, but you'll feel more comfortable and more able to enjoy your ride if you choose less traveled streets. Ride with a friend the first few times, someone who has experience biking to work. They'll help you figure out how to carry your clothes, where to park your bike, and the easiest way to get to the office. Follow all the same rules you follow while driving. Signal before you turn, stop at all stop signs, and stay in the rightmost lane going in your direction. Biking to work is fun, easy, and enjoyable. Try it. For more tips and techniques on how to commute by bicycle or to find other cyclists in your area, visit bikeleague.org.
Imagine a world where bullying isn't considered a normal part of childhood.
A world where I'm not afraid to go to school.
To speak out.
To be myself.
A world where I'm not afraid to be caught alone.
Come on, punk.
We have the power to stop the bullying. Speak out.
Speak up.
Educate.
Find out what to look for and how you can make a difference at bullying.org.
Bullying is not kids being kids.
It's not about good homes or bad homes.
It's not a normal part of growing up. I shouldn't be afraid to get on the school bus.
To turn on my computer.
Message. Or walk to my locker. Did you know that a bully will stop his or her behavior in 10 seconds when their peers speak up?
Use your voice.
Hey, leave him alone.
We have the power to stop bullying.
Find out more at bullying.org.
Bullying.org.
Where you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience. $9:19 now the time, and welcome back everyone to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White. Great to have you joining us once again on this Sunday fun day. It is August the 11th, and hopefully your August is going well for you. I believe it's going well for California vintners. In fact, there are some regions of the state that are expected to have a pretty great harvest, and harvest is underway in many regions. The Santa Cruz Mountain appellation is supposed to have according to recent articles that I've read, is supposed to have a fantastic harvest this time around. And joining us on the line right now to talk a little bit about how great it should be is Prudy Foxx. She's also known as the Grape Whisperer because she has a way with vines. And she joins us on the Eat, Drink, Explore live line right now. Hey, Prudy.
Hi, how's it going?
Fantastic, thank you. I love the picture you shared with us, holding up what kind of grapes are those in your hand?
Those are actually Petite Syrah.
Those are Petite Syrah. From Santa Cruz or from where you are right now?
Yes, Santa Cruz.
Oh, from Santa Cruz. Oh, fantastic. So Petite Syrah is a red grape.
Yes, that's right. That actually is from a really, really hot vineyard up high.
Mm-hmm.
It's way ahead of most of the other vineyards in the area.
Does it sit in a valley and it heats up because it's in a valley?
No, that one was actually way up high.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, way up, and so it's getting all kinds of heat. And it just happens to get a lot of concentrated sunlight. And it's on the east side of the mountains. Santa Cruz is split down by Loma Prieta.
Okay.
The ridgetop, and on one side is toward San Jose. We call it Skyline, but it sort of faces San Jose and Woodside and up in that area,
right.
And the San Francisco Bay Area. In fact, one of my clients, you can see the San Francisco Bay, the Golden Gate Bridge from his vineyard.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So
from within the Santa Cruz growing area, you can see the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yes, there is one spot in Saratoga. I mean, I'm sure there's more than one, but the vineyard that I was at, you actually have a view of the bridge. So that's one side of the mountains, and then the other side of the mountains faces the Monterey Bay, and it's almost a completely different growing climate. So
yeah, the Santa Cruz Mountains must have just a complete mishmash of microclimates.
It does, although they actually do share a certain commonality, which does loosely tie it together. It was based on, back in the 60s, when they first developed it or first designed where it should be, they actually based it on the vegetation growing along a certain area. And so these guys actually traced along all around the border, and they noticed certain kinds of plants all sharing. They all seem to like that same little area, no matter where you were in the mountains. But I must say that in some areas, those plants are really bushy and vigorous, and in other plants, they're very small and tight.
Yeah.
But they're survivors.
So, Prudy, let's talk a little bit about what you do.
Okay.
You are hired by the individual winemakers, right? To check the status of the grapes, what they could be doing to change the environment, or what is your role?
I'm a viticulturist. I have a business called Fox Viticulture, and I am hired by both winemakers and by individual homeowners and vineyard owners to look after their vineyards. And my job is I oversee the vineyards. In some cases, if people want to plant a vineyard, they'll call me and I'll evaluate the site and tell them whether they've got the ultra premium site that everyone's excited about, or whether they probably should grow blueberries or something else,
right.
or medicinal herbs, and by that I mean thyme and golden seal and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And anyway, I evaluate the site. Then if the vineyard's a go, I really like to work with ultra premium sites. There's so many great vineyards out there that I don't see a lot of need or reason to plant and it's so expensive to do it. I wouldn't plant a vineyard unless I thought it was going to go long.
Yeah.
And so if I think it's a great site, then I'll talk with them about what their interests are, what kind of varieties they like, why they even want a vineyard. The only reason you'd ever plant a vineyard is you got to love wine or love something about the industry. And so we figure out what they want. We figure out if that's going to work. We make sure the varieties match the site. And then I'll design, I'll set it up, rootstock, all kinds of technical stuff that goes into setting up the vineyard, and then I'll coordinate that installation, get the right people involved to put that in and manage it, and then I oversee it. I make sure the vines are growing right. I'm involved a lot in the canopy management and whatnot to make sure that the grapes that we do grow end up being ultra premium to go in the top bottles.
I love that you start with the premise, you probably don't want to do this. Instead of most people are like always, if they have a business, they're pushing it. But you're like, no, this is your last resort unless you absolutely want to be a wine grape grower. I also think it's funny that you clarified when you said grow herb in the Santa Cruz Mountains. I guess you do have to clarify.
You do have to clarify. That's right.
Okay, so Prudy, let's talk about 2013. Where are we in the harvest and what's expected?
Well, we're actually in what I would call 80% veraison. Most of the vineyards have gone through a process called veraison or veraison, depending on how classy you want to sound, or whatever right. That word might be that people like to pretend they're French.
Veraison.
But there we go. But the point is, it's when the grapes turn color. If they're red grapes, and if they're white grapes, they actually develop this kind of translucence.
Oh, okay.
It's really beautiful. You can actually see through the berry and see the seed inside, and it's a stunningly beautiful effect in the light. Grapes are sunlight in a glass. I do, Da Vinci said that, and I am full on with him on that. This is a huge part of what we do this time of year is making sure all the clusters get a certain amount of light exposure, but not too much. It's this delicate balance between enough light to ripen the grapes properly and develop flavors and full phenolics, but not too much so they burn. So that's a big part of what we do this time of year. And if you're driving along vineyards, you'll be a really well-managed vineyard is where you can just see the clusters peeking out, and they've still got the little shade of some leaves over the top, like a little parasol.
Yeah. Prudy, how time sensitive is this? Picking it at the exact right time? Are we talking about a matter of hours, a day, a week? Is the crucial part of your job saying, okay, now?
Yeah, it is a crucial part, but I have to say it's probably within a day or two or something like that. It kind of depends on the winemaker.
Mm-hmm.
And ironically, something we're really learning is that in a way you want to pick the grapes just before they're at the perfect place, because this whole wine thing is a living process. And it doesn't just stop. It's not like other kinds of agriculture where you pick a strawberry because it's at perfect ripeness you want to eat it right then. With grapes, and you're going to make wine out of them, you actually want to pick them just slightly ahead of the curve, because it's still going to go through this process of crush and fermentation where those flavors are going to continue to evolve. So we're really learning a lot about that. And I mean, I'm sort of developing this philosophy and I've noticed that some of the best wines have come out when we pick them just ahead of that perfect ripeness. And if you wait until you can taste it perfectly in the vineyard, you might have missed it in the wine.
Yeah. And some of it might depend on the forecast, too. If you have some incredibly hot days on tap, that would speed up the process, I imagine. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. That or the other stuff. The wet stuff we don't name this time of year.
Okay, exactly. We only have about 30 seconds left. Give me your thumbnail evaluation on how this year's Santa Cruz Mountain harvest should go.
It's going to be a stunning crop. It's going to be as large as it was last year, but I think of higher quality because we've had more even temperature. We had a fantastic spring. We have a perfect set out there, so that means the clusters are perfectly formed. Never seen such extraordinary looking fruit, and I'm really excited about it.
I love it. How did you get the name the Grape Whisperer?
It wasn't me.
No.
Well, that's all I can say.
I love it. I think it's fantastic, and clearly you know your stuff. Thank you for sharing it with our Eat, Drink, Explore listeners this morning on a Sunday Fun Day. We'll have to have you back on after the harvest. Prudy Foxx, Fox Viticulture, the Grape Whisperer. Have a great day, Prudy.
Thanks. You too. Enjoy.
All right, everyone, stick around. We're talking fruit flies when we return in just a moment.
Luna Red Restaurant in downtown San Luis Obispo is the perfect spot for a weekend brunch offered every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Enjoy farm-to-table breakfast plates such as the Ribba Benedicts, Mission Steak and Eggs, and quinoa waffles topped with fresh market berries. Or opt for a lunch plate such as the grilled Asian-style fish taco salad or the roast chicken bacon avocado sandwich. Lounge on the sunny patio with views of the historical Mission Plaza while savoring our bottomless mimosas offered from 9:30 a.m. to noon. Hang out on Sunday afternoons from 3 to 5 p.m. and catch our live music on the patio during $5 happy hour. Luna Red also accommodates large parties, so call us today to make a reservation. Follow us on Facebook for daily specials and visit our website, lunaredslo.com, to view current seasonal menus, our live music schedule, or check out our happy hour offerings. Luna Red is located at 1023 Choro Street at the corner of Monterey. Come to be fulfilled.
May is National Bike Month. Now, I used to be intimidated at the thought of biking to work. I worried about my outfit, the traffic, and the time, but my expanding waistline and rising gas prices helped me rethink that position. And last May, I tried riding to work. What an amazing change. In the years since I started riding to work, I've lost weight, saved money on gas, and canceled my gym membership. You should try it. Here are a few tips to help you get started. Alter your route for biking. Cars and bikes are both vehicles and both have a right to the road, but you'll feel more comfortable and more able to enjoy your ride if you choose less traveled streets. Ride with a friend the first few times, someone who has experience biking to work. They'll help you figure out how to carry your clothes, where to park your bike, and the easiest way to get to the office. Follow all the same rules you follow while driving. Signal before you turn, stop at all stop signs, and stay in the rightmost lane going in your direction. Biking to work is fun, easy, and enjoyable. Try it. For more tips and techniques on how to commute by bicycle or to find other cyclists in your area, visit bikeleague.org.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
Welcome back to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network. Here now is your fabulous host, Mr. Randall White.
9:33 now the time, and a very good Sunday fun day morning, everyone. Glad you can join us as we discuss all things food, beverage, travel, and tourism each and every week from 8 to 10 in the morning right here on this very station. And a good morning to all of our KSCO AM 1080 listeners in the greater Santa Cruz area, Monterey County, the South Bay, and San Benito, out past Livermore, and then also Crush 92.5 FM. Hello to San Luis Obispo County listeners, northern Santa Barbara County as well. All right, this portion of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio is brought to you by Luna Red Restaurant. This is just off the historic Mission Plaza in downtown San Luis Obispo. They serve a globally inspired farm-to-table brunch every Saturday and Sunday, and it starts at 9:30. Right now, it's just getting underway, so you can grab a table. Whether you are visiting San Luis Obispo, and this would be where you would go if you were a visitor, or call this stretch of the Central Coast your own home, Luna Red is a locovore's dream. For more information, head to lunaredslo.com. Check out their quinoa pancakes. I'm a vegetarian/vegan, and they have a quinoa burger there that you can do in a lettuce wrap instead of their bun. It is phenomenal because they make their own hot sauce there. And you put a little of that hot sauce on it, and it is delicious. All right, just about 9:35 now the time, and you may have seen some newspaper articles recently regarding the fruit fly problem here in California. It has grown over the years, and if you are my age, mid-40s or older, you certainly remember the medfly scare of the, I believe that was in the early 80s. Maybe late 80s, somewhere in the 80s. And then, of course, you have those agricultural inspection stations whenever you cross over a state border, whether it be Oregon, Nevada, Arizona, and find yourself in California again. If you have out-of-state plates, they will, really give your car what the contents of your car a looking over to make sure you're not importing some sort of fruit that could contain even more fruit flies. Well, UC Davis entomologist Dr. James Carey has a recent study that says the fruit fly problem, while it is bad now, could become horrific in future years if something's not done. Dr. Carey joins us on the line right now to talk a little bit more about this and why he sees it as such a problem. Good morning, Dr. Carey.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today. You're in Los Angeles right now, but you're based up there at UC Davis. Are you in LA to talk about this very issue?
Well, no, I came down for a personal matter, so...
oh, okay. Well, then thank you even more for joining us
no problem.
During your personal time. So let's talk about the study, first of all. What was it exactly you were looking at?
Well, we assembled all the data that the state has ever gathered on fruit fly detections. They started in 1954 right through a few weeks ago, actually, that they captured flies, a number of species throughout the state here. But anyway, we put it all together, and the only conclusion that we could come up with that made sense was that these flies are not being reintroduced as the state claims they are. That is for the whenever they pop up and so forth, but in fact they're resident populations. And there's at least 5, and we think at least perhaps as many as 9 or 10 that are permanently established in the state. And these are spread from San Diego all the way through Sacramento and Bay Area and so forth, where you are.
So these flies now have just made California their home. This is
right.
where they live, and it's generation after generation, and they're not coming in across the border as the or in shipments. I imagine that might be a big problem when you have fruit shipped in from other countries.
Well, look, I mean, the point here is that the horse is out of the barn. I mean, there's still, flies coming in. You can intercept these at the, less so at the border stations, but certainly at the airports and these sorts of things. But in fact, most of them, the vast majority, never make their way outside and are established. The point here is that it's understanding the nature of the problem. Mm-hmm. And that is, if it is being reintroduced, then that's one thing. You can tighten up the inspection stations and so forth. On the other hand, if it's a resident population, which in fact we concluded these are, then that implies a change of policy. So that's where we are here.
So Dr. Carey, what sort of change in policy would you like to see to control the resident populations of these flies?
Well, look, I mean, in the short term, the state still has to respond to these outbreaks. There's no question. So in an immediate sense, there's some tweaking, but in fact, they have to continue doing what they're doing. But it's a bigger picture that's completely lacking. Look, you sort of walk through some of this scenario planning, and, you brace for everything from a huge explosion like the Bay Area. By the way, it was 1980 to 82 as Jerry Brown era.
Oh, thank you.
Where you had the huge, you had the huge outbreaks there. But look, I mean, you sort of, hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and so you need some contingency plans at the very least. But also, when you assume that they're just being reintroduced, there's no predictive power really. But in fact, when they're resident, you can make predictions, because if you caught one in San Jose or Mountain View last year, you're probably you're at great risk. Mm-hmm. And certainly the growers in the valley, where in Bakersfield and Stockton and some of the Fresno for that matter, these farmers, they just get hammered because of the regulatory requirements when they have fruit flies. But again, there's predictive power there in the growers can prepare for this.
Of the many different species, and there are many different species of these fruit flies, are there ones that pose a much greater risk?
Well, you start off with the medfly. That's right at the top. But I'll tell you what, a close second is oriental fruit fly. That's all over the state. And, again, from San Diego all the way through Sacramento and then down through the valley. I mean, these are low populations. And so what the state has done is suppress them, but they haven't contained them. So anyway, the medfly is, of course, oriental fruit fly. There's a Mexican fruit fly. There's guava fruit fly, peach fruit fly, and the melon fly. Those are about 5 or 6 that are really the worst and, in fact, established here. So all of them are what they call Class A pests, and the big issue here is a quarantine of the with the trading partners. So you have China, Japan, and so forth that would close markets, and that's a big deal. Less so than the direct damage at these low populations.
And we saw that happen recently with citrus. China closed off shipments of citrus coming in because it had brown. I'm trying to remember what.
Yeah, no, I mean the greening disease and so forth. These citrus psyllid. More than likely that was had to do with that. Look, I mean, if there's a general concept here too that emerges from our studies, it's that not just to tweak or even just modify, but in fact reconceive invasive pest policy. So it's not just fruit flies; it goes all the way to the citrus greening. And by the way, you had light brown apple moth right there in your backyard too.
That's been a problem.
I was involved in that because I'll tell you what, another thing that emerges from this is that the near impossibility of eradication. And even you come back to LBAM, look, this was not even not even conceivable that they could eradicate this LBAM spread the way it is and so forth. So, eradication is extremely difficult once they're entrenched.
And that would involve quite a bit of spraying, and the public is not a fan of that for obvious reasons.
No, you can't. You absolutely cannot go there, and that is you don't have tools. But I'll tell you what, even if you could spray, you can't do it. They tried this with the gypsy moth that spawned the silent spring back in the 50s and 60s and so forth.
Yeah.
Spraying, you cannot eradicate these, so you don't have the tools to do it. Period. Even spraying would be allowed, but of course it wouldn't be. But even if it was, you could not get rid of them.
Dr. Carey, what is it that the fly does exactly to the fruit that makes it such a problem for the ag industry?
Sure. Yeah. First off, you have to make a distinction between the Drosophila, these little gnat fruit flies that feed on, and they're gnat size. They lay their eggs on rotting fruit, and they're of no economic consequence. It's this group with the medfly and the oriental and so forth. These are called true fruit flies, and they attack the growing fruit. So they have a sharp ovipositor. They drill down through the skin and so forth, lay their eggs, and the maggots eat the fruit. So that's why they're pests, is because they attack growing fruit, and the maggots eat the fruit, not the adults, of course.
Right. And then since they're attacking the growing fruit, then therein lies the problem, because you've got rotting fruit in the fields, which none of us want for sure. So what number one thing do you think would need to change then for us to control these populations? Is there...
Yeah, I don't see, just one thing. There's going to be a lot of tweaking. You've got to, I would say, intensely trap the valley. That's the heart and soul of the ag industry right in there. You've got to stay on top of that, for one.
So trapping them.
But what...
Is that what you
not
said?
trapping them out. Detecting.
I see.
That you can use rifle rather than shotgun. You can go after these at earlier stages and so forth. You've got to protect the valley. Again, you're not eradicating these.
Yeah.
But let me step back. There's no. Here I am one person. You can't come up with a policy for, just in. This is a agency level deliberations. I recommend that the National Academy of Science get involved. You can commission studies there where they really affirm the science and the extent and so forth. And then furthermore, I think that a national fruit fly program should be established, of which California would be a big part, but also Texas and Florida have fruit fly problems as well.
And your main goal was to show that these are not coming in necessarily from out of state, that these are established populations, and then that helps the scientists take a look at it differently on how to control everything.
No, absolutely. It's like a staph infection versus cancer. You can treat the symptoms, but in fact, you've got to get to the disease.
Right. Well said. Dr. James Carey, Department of Entomology and Nematology at the University of California, Davis. We have a link to his page on our website under today's program summaries at eatdrinkexplore.com. YARTS.com. Dr. Carey, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, stick around, everyone, because just after the break, we're talking Perseid meteor shower. That's what is on your agenda tonight. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. We're back in a moment. Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Imagine a world where bullying isn't considered a normal part of childhood.
A world where I'm not afraid to go to school.
To speak out.
To be myself.
A world where I'm not afraid to be caught alone.
Come on, punk.
We have the power to stop the bullying. Speak out.
Speak up.
Educate.
Find out what to look for and how you can make a difference at bullying.org.
Bullying is not kids being kids.
It's not about good homes or bad homes.
It's not a normal part of growing up. I shouldn't be afraid to get on the school bus.
To turn on my computer.
Message. Or walk to my locker. Did you know that a bully will stop his or her behavior in 10 seconds when their peers speak up?
Use your voice.
Hey, leave them alone. We have the power to stop bullying.
Find out more at bullying.org.
Bullying.org.
Where you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com. The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience. And welcome back, everyone, to the final segment here of the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network for this Sunday Fun Day. I'm your host, Randall White. Great to have you listening, and so happy that you are. Okay, right now, planet Earth is hurling through space directly toward the tail of a comet. We will pass right through it tonight and tomorrow night, but don't worry about it. We do it every year. in August, and have for, as far as I know, centuries. We are, and when we do, we experience something called the Perseid meteor shower, and because when that comet leaves a tail, the tail of the comet is made up of little bits of ice and particles and such, dust. Those things, when they hit our atmosphere, streak across the sky, and we call them shooting stars or meteors. But they're not a meteor. That's the whole scientific thing I won't get into. But and they're not shooting stars either. But those are the terms that we give to when we see these streaks of light go across the sky. So it will peak tonight, really tomorrow morning, around 4 our time. So just before dawn is the best time to see these Perseids. And the great thing about it is the moon is in our favor. Sometimes we have a really great light show, but we have a full moon or a partial moon or what have you. This year, we really luck out, and we should be able to see the streaks left by this debris field in just better than ever, better than in most years. So what you want to do is you want to make sure two things. One, that you are away from any city lights, and that would, even if you live in a somewhat rural area, you don't want to be near one street light that could be causing a problem. You want to be in as dark a place as possible, and even if you go camping, you might consider putting out the campfire for this portion of the night. The other thing is you likely want to get away from the coast. While the marine layer is hard to predict at times, we've been in a pattern now for a couple of weeks straight where the fog develops in the late afternoon and it moves inland and it stays in place until right about now. So, and it's actually here in San Luis Obispo, it is burning off right now as I speak. That's not going to do you any good at 4 a.m, though. If you go outside, even if you're in the darkest stretch, Big Sur is a really great place to watch this if it's a clear night because it's so far away from any major source of light. However, if you have a fog bank overhead, you're not going to be able to see it. So the best place to go see these, and it might be a little late now to try it. However, you do have the following night is supposed to be as spectacular. So Monday night into Tuesday morning. So that does give you a little extra time. So anyway, the desert has the clearest skies. I don't know about Palm Springs in that area. Not only do they have a lot of big cities there, but you've got a lot of smoke coming from that silver fire right now. So you want to go to a stretch of desert where there's no fires burning and there are no cities. Some places that are recommended on a website called totalescape.com, and that Total Escape is all about finding an escape within California. It's a fantastic website. She mentions Borrego Springs, Red Rock State Park, Joshua Tree. Joshua Tree is near that fire, so I'm not sure if that's affecting it or not. Depends on the wind patterns. Panamint Springs, Guadalupe Canyon, Anza Borrego State Park, which is down by San Diego, I believe, and then Mojave National Park. So those are some of the better desert locations. The Sierra Nevada would be fantastic as well. You get high up in elevation, and the atmosphere is thinner, clearer, and there's a lack of lights for the most part. You can check out Idlewild, Huntington Lake, Fawnskin, Bridgeport is in the eastern Sierra and fantastic. Kernville, Sequoia National Forest, and Sierra National Forest are fantastic locations for those sorts of things. Now, in just country regions, rural areas of California, you can check out Plymouth. Calistoga, if you get up on Mount St. Helena there, should be pretty nice. The whole Clear Lake area has some of the clearest air in the state. The Napa region as well, the little town of Volcano, Walker, and the Stanislaus National Forest as well. Now, coastally, it's really a gamble, as I mentioned, primarily because of the fog that comes in. Cambria is... Here's the whole thing. If you head to Cambria and you miss it, it's not really a problem because it's such a wonderful place to go anyway. You've got all the wine tasting and the pines that are there right at Moonstone Beach. Really gorgeous. So Cambria, Big Sur, Solvang. Solvang might be far enough inland that you might be able to escape the fog. I haven't checked their cloud cover at night recently. I'll be passing right through Solvang a little bit later today. Mendocino, of course, absolutely gorgeous. Ferndale, which is up by Eureka. Trinidad, which is north of Eureka, and a fantastic spot. And, of course, the entire stretch of the Los Padres National Forest, which is a really elongated national forest that hugs the coast here in California. If you get up into some of the higher peaks, depending on the altitude of the marine layer, you might be able to be above the fog, in which case, what an amazing view that would be, huh? You're above the fog. It looks like just a sea of fog underneath you, and then you have all these light streaks that are going on overhead. And that fog would help dampen any of the lights coming up from the population centers below. So that might be your best bet of all. Just find a nice high peak somewhere. Last year around this time, we mentioned a peak just outside... Oh, what's the name of the San Juan Bautista? There is a peak right outside San Juan Bautista, and they have an observatory up there. And it's this time of year they do allow the public. You have to be a member most of the time, but I believe for the Perseid showers they allow the public to come in. I don't have it right here in front of me, so you'll have to do a Google search. Just search peak San Juan Bautista Observatory, and it should pop up. But once again, this information available at totalescape.com. There's Slugline, California, off the beaten path, a little bit like what we do here at Eat, Drink, Explore. And so I just want to thank the publisher of this for letting me share a little bit of the suggestions they have for viewing tonight's and tomorrow night's Perseid meteor showers. Oh, and you know what? I had some Perseid, for those of you watching online via eatdrinkexplore.com, I had some Perseid video courtesy of NASA, Science at NASA. They put some great things together. We have a link to that as well at eatdrinkexplore.com under today's program summary. Lots of great guests today, and all of their links available there as well to give you further information on some of the suggestions. Thank you to, for this hour anyway, to Prudy Foxx, who joined us. Also, Dr. James Carey from UC Davis talking about fruit flies. Most of all, thank you, the listener, for tuning in to Eat, Drink, Explore this week. And hopefully you will each and every week right here on your local station. I'm your host, Randall White, saying to you, get out there, eat, drink, and explore. This is, after all, your California.
You've been listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you missed any of our segments today, look for them online or through our free Apple and Android apps. Catch you back right here next week.